Howdy, guys, and welcome to Cliff Notes, and welcome to the overnight feed recaps for night number 25 of Big Brother season 25. A good Sunday morning to y'all. Oh my gosh, I thought last night would maybe be kind of an easy night and all that. Not so much. It was a very interesting evening. We had some secrets revealed. Hint, hint, hint. We're going to talk about that. We had the results of the veto, and of course, all kinds of conspiring and flipping and everything else that you expect from this season and this cast. So let's get right into it because there's a lot to talk about. All right, first of all, what we do know, the facts of the house, so to speak. Cameron is the HOH. He had previously put up Jag and Blue on the block. We went in, we had the veto competition yesterday. It was held yesterday afternoon. Law feeds were down for five hours or so. The feeds finally came back on around 6 o'clock or so in the evening. And it turns out that the veto competition was an individual timed event. Those always take forever. Individual timed competition involving something about them running back and forth looking for puzzle pieces or tiles of some sort that had golden spelled out on them. They retrieved all these pieces, put them back together, assembled them. Whoever did that first hit the buzzer, won veto competition. And when the feeds return, we see that the winner is Red. Yeah, Red won the competition. I heard at one point that Jag maybe was real close, 20 seconds or so away from Red. So it wasn't a blowaway, but it doesn't have to be. Red has won the veto competition, which is not good for Jag and Blue, considering that Red's pretty tight with Cameron. So let's talk about that. So remember I talked about how I thought this was going to be an easy evening? It's based on this. The HOH winner is part of an 8-person alliance. The Legend 25 is what they're calling themselves. So HOH winner Cameron's part of the Legend 25. 8 people. There's only 13 people in the house. He put up 2 people who are not part of that 8-person alliance. And now his tightest connection in the house, Red, who is also part of Legend 25, just won the veto competition. That should make for a nice, easy evening in the house, a nice, easy week in the house, right? The HOH holder, the veto holder are both part of the majority alliance in the house. What could go wrong, right? Well, let's talk about it because nothing stays easy inside that house. So let's go right on to the feeds, picking up right after the veto competition. I tried to go so much going on, so I tried to pick and choose what I thought was relevant, and we'll carry on forward. So bear with me. All right, let's start right after the competition. We've got America talking to Blue and Jag, telling them that they need to talk to Cameron and remind him that he and Red know that they are going to go on the block next week, and that they really need Blue and Jag to protect them going forward. Fair enough. I don't know who America thinks that they should be suggesting replace Jag or Blue at this point in time to Red and Cameron. Yes, they are going to be huge targets next week, but I don't know how Jag and Blue present that to them and justify either one of them getting pulled off just yet. In fact, later on, Jag asked that very same question to America. America's crying about the situation and such, and hoping that one of them get pulled off. And Jag says, who are we going to suggest go up in our place? America better be careful because it could be her if she's not careful with it. But she's saying, y'all got to figure out some way to convince them to pull one of y'all off. Well, easier said than done. All right, later we've got Jag and Blue saying, I think just a little bit later, saying that they need to talk to the 7. This is the other alliance, the 7 deadly sins. Jag and Blue saying, we need to talk to the 7 to come up with a plan. Yeah, you do, but it's not going to be an easy one. So let's talk about these alliances real quick before we get back into the feeds. The Legend 25 alliance is this 8-person alliance consisting of the Bye Bye Bees, which is Cirie, Felicia, Izzy, Nicole, and Bowie. Along with those 5, along with them is then Matt and Red and Cameron. That makes up the Legend 25, which I don't know. I suppose it's the most legit alliance in the house, if you can ever call an 8-person alliance legit. But that's the Legend 25. We then have the 7 deadly sins, which consist again of Cirie, Felicia, Izzy, and Matt. But now we also have Jag and Blue and Jared instead of Red and Cameron and Bowie. So what's that? 4 of the people are the same. Yeah, and then you've got 3 in the 7 deadly sins that are not in the other one. So there you go. So you've got some overlap, but you've got the Legend 25, you've got the 7 deadly sins. Now the problem is that Jag and Blue are part of the 7 deadly sins. They think that this alliance has their back, and that's who they're going to be able to rely on to get them the votes, to protect them, to how can you protect them if they're both on the block, but somehow support them if they can get the votes flipped or the veto used and someone else up on the block instead. So Jag and Blue are thinking the 7 deadly sins have their back against 2 guys who are not part of their alliance. They don't understand that Red and Cameron also have an alliance with Cirie and Izzy and all of that group. All right, so that's the issue, and that's why Jag and Blue maybe are feeling more optimistic than they really should be. All right, some more conversations taking place. We've got Red and Cameron in the HOH. They are both agreeing that they both trust Cirie explicitly. Why? Why in the world? I'm amazed that Cirie is getting a free pass for so long. Now, part of it's her own doing. She is set back. She's let Izzy be the attack dog while she sits back and doesn't get nearly as much blood on her hands. But yeah, the HOH and the veto holder both say, yeah, Cirie, we're good with Cirie. No problem at all. Red, in fact, thinks that Cirie would pick him over Izzy. How could you have such a bad read in this house? That blows me away. Now, with some of the secrets that were revealed a little later in the evening, maybe their opinions will change a little bit on that. But right now, they absolutely trust Cirie, both of them. Not so much Felicia. They really do not either one feel comfortable with Felicia. She's the weak person in that other alliance, the kink that they think maybe they can exploit. So they're not trusting Felicia, but they absolutely are trusting Cirie. Red, I don't want to say he pitched Izzy as a backdoor because he certainly didn't present that, but he did mention to Cameron saying, look, Izzy, we got to be careful about her because neither one of us has her vote if we ever get further into the game. It's just not going to happen. So he says that, but then he turns right around and says, but at the same time, I want this Legend 25 alliance to stick around at least until jury. So he's kind of throwing it out there to see what Cameron says, but then pulling back and saying, yeah, but I'm not saying we need to get out Izzy right now, but just in case you're thinking about it. Now, wanting to protect this alliance until jury gets there. Why? Jury is not 6 months, 6 weeks on down the road. Jury is going to probably happen in 2, maybe 3 weeks, depending upon this little secret immunity thing that's going on that we still don't know a lot about. But jury is just around the corner. You can't think that you're going to have this 8-person alliance, that you're just going to protect it up until that point, and then suddenly it's too late. You may think it's all hunky-dory, but once you get to that point, people are taking shots at each other within that alliance. You better be making some plans and provisions before you ever get there. But according to Red, yeah, we're good. Just protect us until we get there, and then we'll hash it all out. By then, it's too late, Red. All right. You got to start playing now. Cameron says that he is tired of Legend 25. Cameron actually picking up on this a little bit more. He's saying, I'm tired of Legend 25. I love the name, but I don't want to be in this thing anymore. He's suggesting that let's just get a final 4 of you, Red, me, Matt, and Bowie. We'll get those 4. And he says, we trust Cirie as well. So let's bring her in as kind of a pseudo 5th. There's our final 5. At that point, I guess we cut Cirie, and now we got the 4 that we want. Cameron's ready to abandon this big, unworkable Legend 25 group. So we'll see how that all works out. We do have one interesting little thing that's pointed out as well. Cameron's talking about, said, yeah, everyone was kind of, thinking, it seemed like everyone wanted to work with me and all that. He said, as soon as I went HOH, I get this key. No one's talking to me. No one's doing anything. What's going on? Well, if you aren't having the day-to-day conversations with everyone else, maybe consider the fact that even if you are or think you're part of alliance, maybe you're not really a key cog in that alliance. And Cameron's picking up on the fact that people kind of used him until the nominations were made and until they feel a little safer. And now he's feeling a little bit abandoned. Keep that thought in mind, Cameron. It will help you going forward. All right, we've got Felicia, Izzy, Blue, and Matt, all part of the 7 Deadly Sins Alliance, meeting with each other. Izzy is saying that she wants to keep Blue and Jag both in this house. Izzy just Izzy's playing too hard. Later, she tells Corey that she's just trying to keep Blue calm, and Jag, I suppose, as well, trying to keep them calm. Izzy's doing too much. You can't soothe every person. You can't be involved in every single conversation. You can. She seems to be trying to prove that you can be involved in every single conversation, but it's going to come back and bite her. She's going to have people that feel a little bit betrayed by her if she does this. Only one person, as far as we know, is going home this week. You try to promise too many things to too many people, and it's gonna create issues for Izzy going on down the road. But she's saying, yeah, I want to keep both of y'all. I don't want y'all to go home. Yeah. All right. We've got Felicia saying that Red and Cameron are not going to change anything. Felicia calls it the way she sees it. And she's right in this case. She said Red and Cameron aren't going to change anything. And she's saying, don't be going in there and hitting them up with all these ideas. If you're going to say something, you got to be very casual about it. You can't go in and tell them what you want done, or it's not going to go well. And she's saying, you don't need to be doing it this early. Just wait a little while. Yeah. Why are these people in such a hurry? We're not having an eviction until Thursday, veto ceremony it until Monday. You don't need to get everything figured out by Saturday night. So Felicia's trying to tell them to cool their jets a little bit. I don't know that they're listening. All right, we've got they're talking about later. They're going to meet it and try to come up with a plan on how to go forward. Well, we know that Izzy really into this anyway, and Seven Deadly Sins really is not the legit alliance, but she's saying what they want to hear. All right, we've got Corey talking to Izzy, telling Izzy, I think this is in the storage room. He's saying, "Look, you're good. I just got through talking to Cameron. Cameron said you're not going up, or at least he said you're safe. Do those two mean the same thing? No, not necessarily. But he said Cameron said that you're safe, but that Cameron did ask if you're going to go after him next week." And Corey said, "I told him no. I said, no, that's not the plan whatsoever." If you're HOH and you're already worried enough that you're asking other people, is she going to put me up? Maybe consider that when you're thinking about renominations, that maybe that's not the person that you need to just be leaving alone and protecting and promising safety to this week. All right, we got Jared talking to Blue. Jared talked to Blue quite a bit. Yeah, quite a bit. And they did a little more than talking as well. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but Jared's talking to Blue, and he's saying, look, he said, you need to make sure that you're safe before you start trying to protect anyone else. In other words, don't worry so much about Jag, Blue. You're on the block right now. You need to make sure you're good. In fact, he says you're stupid if you don't protect yourself right now and you try to save Jag. That you got to take care of business right now. He's right. It's probably going to be one or the other, and Blue needs to realize that. All right, we finally had Legend 25. We'll call it the legit alliance right now, I guess, even though it's 8 people. But Legend 25 met. They confirm, Cameron and Red, one or the other, both of them, confirm that, yeah, Jag is a target this week. I'm not going to change anything. I think it's Red that says, why would I want to make any changes when these two have been putting my name in their mouths all week previous? Why in the world would I not just keep the two of them up there? If I pulled one of them off, I just have to put someone else up. So why would they think I'm going to do that at all? So they're confirming that Jag is a target and that they're not going to use a veto. Red's confirming he has no plans to pull either one of them off. So it seems pretty straightforward, right? All right, let's keep on talking. Corey's telling Felicia and Cirie that Jag's pitch to him was that, hey, Jag's a strong competitor, that he can fight for Corey. If Corey will just help keep him in the house, man, he's got Jag's loyalty. Didn't I say something similar last week? But yeah, that's what Jag's pitch is to Corey. First of all, why is he already campaigning? Corey isn't making a decision about whether or not the veto's used. Corey's just a vote. So why pitch to Corey at this point in time? Now, I understand he thinks Corey is a strategic player and maybe has some influence and sway and all that. But yeah, it seems very early to be campaigning. But that's what Jag is telling Corey. Corey immediately tells Cirie, I can't remember if anyone else was in or not, but I think Felicia was in there as well. Corey says, yeah, Jag's promoting himself as this competitor that can protect us and all of that. And Cirie says, doesn't he realize that he's going home because he's a strong competitor? This guy's an idiot. He should realize that's why everyone wants him gone, is because he's such a strong competitor. Remember that conversation. All right, we've got Jag talking to Matt a little bit later, revealing to Matt that America knows about the Seven Deadly Sins Alliance because Jared had told Corey and then Corey had told America. So game of telephone, but Jag is letting Matt know that, yeah, America knows about that seven deadly sins alliance that she's not a part of. So just so you know, we've got, and keep that in mind because we'll talk about that in a second. Later, Jag is talking, or I think he's still talking to Matt, saying that Corey doesn't really stir things up in this house. He's pretty straightforward. He says, on the other hand, Jared is sketchy. He's playing both sides. Jag is going out of his way to really throw Jared under the bus. I think to create a view that Jared potentially is the house enemy, that maybe Red and Cameron want to go after. So he's doing it a roundabout way by telling Matt that Jared just can't be trusted by any of us right now in this house. Jag later tells Izzy and then Cirie, and then I think he tells them again. A few conversations had in that house, but Jag later tells all these same things to Izzy and then Cirie. And he's also worried, and I think he actually vocalizes more with Matt, but he's worried that Jared only told Corey about the Seven Deadly Sins Alliance because why would you tell Corey? Well, maybe it's because the two of them, Jared and Corey, are in a final two together. So again, wink, 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 hint, hint, hint. How much do you trust Jared? And by extension, how much do you trust Corey, Matt, Cirie, Izzy? Just so you know. So he does mention that as well. And he follows all that up by saying, I hope y'all realize it. I'm loyal to the Seven Deadly Sins to the absolute end. Y'all are who I want to ride with. I want to work with y'all. So he's doing what he can to convince that side. He does say at one point, he says, look, I'm just telling y'all, I know I'm not getting Red's vote or Cameron's vote or I can't remember America's vote. I don't know if he said America, but he said, I can't count on the other vote. He said, I'm not going to pull a high sum. I'm not going to promise protection to everyone. I'm just coming to y'all saying y'all are who I want to go with. If it doesn't work with y'all, so be it, because I'm not going to the other side. Y'all are who I want. So he's making a strong pitch to Cirie and Izzy, Felicia, and all of them. All right, later we've got Corey talking to Izzy. He's expressing some frustration about America. He's kind of distancing himself from America right now because he's worried. America's said some things and has lost a lot of trust. And I'm not sure she really had the trust to begin with. But Corey's backing off a little bit. He's saying, "Look, I'm frustrated with America. She's way too impulsive right now in the way she's playing this game. It's very frustrating." He's telling Izzy that he might be to blame. Izzy and Cirie are worried about the fact that this information got back to America. And they say, look, we're going to have to talk to Corey and find out what's going on. So this is part of that conversation. And so Izzy has basically asked Corey about how America knew this stuff. And he's saying, look, I might be to blame for America listing the names of who's in that alliance. He said, I probably did mention the names at some point. He said, but I never mentioned the alliance name. If she's saying that did not come from me. Corey very much playing defensive at this point in time and a little flustered for one of the few times I've seen in here, a little flustered in the way he's handling it. Izzy follows up by saying, look, it's no problem. If it happened, it happened. We'll send out Jag this week and then we'll deal with America later. So we're good, Corey. Don't worry about that. We just want to find out what's going on. Yeah, it's never that simple. All right, later we've got Corey confronting America about telling Jag this information. And she says, look, I felt bad for Jag. I didn't want him to be blindsided. I told him that things weren't looking good. And she said, I really thought I could trust him to keep that information private, but he's a snake. I think she had a word in front of snake, but she said, he's a snake. I can't believe I trusted him to do that. This is a situation where maybe America is still trying too hard to protect Jag and Blue and maybe cut your losses at this point in time because she's getting drug into it because of it, as we're seeing here. So Corey, he's not happy with America. He's letting her know that, you really shouldn't have done that. Dare say I use the word scold. He kind of scolds her. In fact, I think he uses that word later in the evening to tell someone how. I think he tells her, say, yeah, maybe I scolded you a little earlier. More of that schoolgirl, more of the professors and school and everything else, the phrases such. But anyway, he's kind of calling her out for that. And she's saying, look, I thought I could trust Jag. He's a snake. And now lesson learned. All right, we got Cirie telling Felicia that she just isn't sure what to do about Corey and America with everything they just found out. She's saying that she trusts, that she thinks that Jared trusts Corey and told him. And then, of course, once Corey learned about it, then he trusts America. So he told her. And so now she's saying, I don't know what to do about these two. I want to work with Jared and Corey and America as well. She's, I don't know what to do about them, where we go with this. We get a little mention at this point in time from Felicia that's going to turn into a little bit of a tidal wave here in a second. Felicia saying, maybe we need Jack. If we can't necessarily trust America and we're not really sure where Corey is and all that, do we want to get rid of Jag? Is there maybe another path that we can consider? Let the flip flopping begin. All right, Cirie is now telling Felicia and Izzy, and Mecole was in there as well. She's saying, that's not a bad idea. I kind of think maybe I want to save Jag. And she said, because he's a strong competitor that can fight for us. Isn't she the one that just a little while early called him an idiot for ever thinking that pitch would work on them? Well, props to you. Score one for Jag, one taken away from Cirie's win column because it's worked. She's now convinced that maybe they do need Jag for the competition level, for the competition support. She's saying, look, if we don't save Jag this week, we're just gonna get picked off one by one. By who? I don't know. Corey in America and Blue. I don't even know who that. Red, Cameron. Anyone who's not part of their group, they assume is part of the other group. So she's saying we're going to get picked off one by one if we don't save Jag and perhaps use him. He pledged undying loyalty. Let's get him. He's shown. Remember, even this veto competition, he was only 20 seconds behind. So they're saying let's just keep him so we can win a few more competitions so that they can't pick us off one by one. Your pitch worked, Jag. Congratulations to you, at least for now. So we've got that. So she's saying we're worried about that. Cirie's talking to Izzy and Felicia and Mecole, continuing conversation. And she's saying, look, I do not want Red or Cameron knowing about this flip. Because remember, she's also in the alliance with Red and Cameron and Bowie as part of the Legend 25. So she's saying, let's flip it. Let's go ahead and save Jag, send Blue out the door, and don't tell the other people in that other alliance about it, because otherwise I'll just create all kinds of everything. I don't know why you can't be more upfront with your alliance. Well, I know why. It's because you belong to 50 different alliances and you can't be upfront about all of them. But she's saying, don't tell everyone. I do wonder. Yes, I'm sure Jag, being the competitor that he is, she may think that'll help. I wonder if the fact that he's up on the block against Blue, who may be snuggling up with your son Jared just a little bit, if there may not be a little incentive, a little desire from Cirie to maybe vote out Blue for more personal reasons. Just a thought I'm going to throw out there, and that may become even more personal here just a little bit later in the evening. So anyway, we've got that. All right, we got Izzy talking to Cirie and saying that, look, Corey, I talked to Corey about this whole leak about the 7 deadly sins, and he was panicking. He turned white. He was shaking. He was nervous. He was not handling it well. And she's saying, based on that, I don't think that we need to include Corey in this plan to save Jag either, because we don't know where he's at right now. Corey and America's names are getting thrown out a lot right now. So she's saying, don't tell Corey about this plan to flip and send Blue out the door, because he'll tell everyone. So just keep it on the down low. Cirie is wondering if she should talk to Jared and tell Jared to maybe not talk to Corey anymore if he's the leak. Just tell Jared, shut it down. Don't have any conversations with Corey. Cirie may need to reach out to Jared and just say, don't talk to anyone anymore, because you're going to kill our game if you do. We'll talk about that. Cirie's getting ready to really find out just how big a mouth Jared has at times. But she's saying, look, I'm going to have to maybe tell him to just shut it down. They are saying that they're going to lie to Jared about the vote until right beforehand, because they don't want Jared to get all worried that Blue's going home and all of that. And let's not tell him until the last possible second so he doesn't try to flip it back the other way and all of that. Is that not going to create a little conflict between Jared and Cirie, and between Jared and the rest of this group? I'd be very careful about that if I was you guys. Izzy is saying that when Jag goes home, she's going to be looking at Cameron's face, that she wants to see his face when she goes home. Izzy just makes things so personal and, dare say, a little bit petty as well. it almost, when she says things like that, it almost seems like she's saving Jag and sending Blue out the door, not because she necessarily thinks it benefits her game, but just because she doesn't want to do anything that goes along with what Cameron wants. Just a thought. All right, we've got Izzy talking to Red and schmoozing. At one point, they'd said, "Oh, Cameron, Red, we need to figure out what's going on with that and calm them down a little bit." So Izzy's talking to Red and she's schmoozing with him. They're both declaring, oh, they're loyal to each other. They'll protect each other. They're good. They just don't always talk as much as they should and everything. But there's nothing of substance. It's just them talking over each other or just talking beyond each other. Later, though, Cirie talks to Red and she says, "Oh, I really appreciate your talk with Izzy. It was fantastic. Thank you for doing that. Izzy now feels so much more comfortable working with Red and with you and Cameron. She was worried about it, but after that talk, you soothed her down, and now we're all good." Nah, it's all a bunch of smoke. None of that's true. All right, we've got Izzy reporting right back to Cirie and saying that Red, after her talk with Red, so Izzy's saying that, hey, Cameron said that he had considered putting me on the block as the renom, but that Red's the one who shut it down. I don't remember that. I think Cameron was pretty much saying, yeah, I'm not going to change it. And Red's the one that kind of floated that idea. But of course, Red's taking a little bit of credit. And so he's mentioned to Izzy that, yeah, you could have been up there. That's not going to help Izzy feel comfortable with these two guys one bit more, right? As much as they promise each other, Izzy and Cameron are just the eternal villains. They'll be going against each other until one or the other's gone. And even then, they'll still be going after each other, I'm sure. So, yeah, she's saying, yeah, Red said that Cameron may have put me up if it wasn't for him shutting it down. All right, we got to get through this. That's so much conversations. Jared, Jag, Blue are talking all about the opportunities they'll have after Big Brother, all the things that can happen, other shows, influencer deals, all the stuff we've heard people talk about. Jared mentions that Corey is mad about something. He's not real sure, but Corey just seems mad about something, so he's going to talk to him a little bit later. He also mentions that Corey said that America was the worst Big Brother player ever. Again, Corey's trying to distance himself a little bit from America when he's talking to Jared and Izzy and Cirie and everyone on that side. All right. We haven't even talked about Bowie Jane yet. So let's talk a little bit Bowie Jane. She is in the house, not necessarily making a whole lot of decisions, except when it comes to sleep time. Bowie Jane, who seems like she's up at 4:00 in the morning, always getting up on Australia hours still, I guess, and all that. But Bowie is upset. She's complaining. I think it was Red in there, but Cirie as well. She's upset that the other have-nots, Izzy and who am I missing? Corey, I think. Yeah, Izzy and Corey, that they won't go to bed, and as long as they don't go to bed, the lights in the have-not room won't turn on. She's also upset because she wanted one of the beds, and then Corey took it, or I don't know. She's mainly upset that she can't sleep, and it's because the other two are up. And so she's just a little irritated and it seems like Izzy more so even than Corey, I think. But anyway, she's not happy at all. And Cirie says, well, we'll have a little talk with these other have-nots, and we'll talk about that you can't stay up all night long, that you got to go to bed. Okay, thank you, Mom Cirie. Appreciate the consideration. But yeah, the Bowie's not happy either. We're seeing a lot of wedges in these different groups and different people who have kept it under wraps for a while. But even Bowie Jane is now expressing some frustration with a few folks here and there. So that's kind of interesting. All right, let's talk about Blue and Jared. Let's talk a lot about Blue and Jared. They're under their favorite blanket up in the upstairs lounge where they tend to hang out. Jared is again hinting about his and Cirie's secret that he is her son. Do we call it hinting? Yeah, we'll start with saying he's just hinting around at it. But and that doesn't last long. He cannot keep a secret. Jared cannot keep a secret. I was overheard in the house talking a little bit. I thought I had a big mouth. Jared has a bigger mouth because Jared eventually just comes right out and says, if I told you my mom was in the game, he's been hinting about this forever. And so finally just comes out and says that. He kind of presents as a little bit of a what if kind of scenario, but hint, hint, hint. And he's saying that he wonders if that would make Blue a little worried about whether Jared would pick his mom or Blue if my mom was in the house, kind of deal. And Blue saying, "Oh, having your mom in the game it doesn't mean anything to me. It'd be kind of awkward for you, I suppose, but yeah, it doesn't mean anything to me. That's fine, whatever, Jared." Later, it turns out that Blue actually thinks that Felicia is Jared's mom. So yeah, let the complications begin. She thinks he's hinting around and that he maybe is actually has told her, but yeah, she's thinking Jared and Felicia are related, not Jared and Cirie. So it's just a comedy of errors as these two. But the key point is that Jared has basically told Blue that yes, his mom is in the house. I really hope that Blue at this point in time, or at some point before veto ceremony, certainly before evictions, I hope she spills the beans. I hope she reveals this secret, either as a way to maybe protect her position in the game or just as vindictive as she's heading out, one or the other. If someone's going to spill a secret like that, then that secret needs to be spilled to everyone in that house. So Blue, do what you need to do. But Jared, what a goofball. Why in the world would you reveal that secret? It amazes me. It astounds me. So there you go. That's probably the biggest news of the night, and I saved it to the very end. Jared has told Blue that yes, his mom is in the house. Now, whether she understands just who that mom is, I don't know. Does it really matter? No, because at this point, it should come out. So we've got that. Meanwhile, we see them making out under the blanket for quite a bit. You hear some kissing noises and everything else. So you've got that. Later when they finish up, Jared's kind of cleaning up where they were laying down. He's got some bleach wipes and everything. So I don't know. I just let you make whatever assumptions you want based on that. But yeah, he did a little cleanup when they got done. But they certainly had a little bit of a makeout session. Now, Jared told he told Blue that his mom was in the game, but then later he has a mention about, oh, my mom's watching me on TV. And then later he says something, my mom Felicia. So I don't know. He's so bouncing around here and there. Who knows what Blue picks up at the end? Maybe she won't say where. Maybe she was so focused on the she said at one point something about 1 hour of news and info and secrets and 1 hour playtime or something. She may be more focused on the playtime. I really hope something comes of this. We shall see. All right, finally, a couple of real quick conversations, and we're going to shut it down. I had a lot to talk about this morning. Corey, America, and Matt are outside talking. They're talking about Bowie and Red trying to make an alliance with them. Apparently, they approached them at some point. Kind of hinted around an alliance with them. And they're talking about how it just really was kind of awkward. Bowie Jane wants to play the game. I just don't see her doing it well so far. So they've got that. And then we know that Red and Cameron had talked about trying to make an alliance as well. So they're fishing around a little bit and seeing what they can do with it. America's talking about that group, and she's saying, look, I'm okay working with Cameron. I could do that. She says, I'm not working with Red, and I'm not working with Bowie Jane. I'm not going to do it. I don't like working with them at all. So, yeah, America's got beef with a couple of people as well. She mentions that she wants Red out first. That's who she wants to head out the door as soon as a possibility occurs. Not going to happen this week, but if you're still around, you could win. It would have been interesting to see an HOH with America behind the wheel this week. It would have been a whole lot different, right? It's amazing how this game can change based on just one or two comps. All right, so we've got that. Then finally, these group, who is that? Matt and Corey and America, they're kind of joking, kind of serious about them being an alliance. They had some name they threw out, and it wasn't serious. I can't remember what it was now. I didn't take my notes on it, but they are bouncing around the ideas that maybe the three of them could have something going on. They certainly didn't shake hands and form an alliance, but certainly a working relationship. We'll leave it at that. Corey mentions that Jag is really counting on their 3 votes to protect him. Well, they may not even need your 3 votes, Corey, if this whole Felicia, Cirie, Izzy flip ends up taking place. But they are saying that Jag, thinks he's got the votes, and it's because he's counting on us. So we'll see where that goes. Eventually, Matt heads inside. Before that, Matt goes in. Corey at that point tells America, says he really trusts Matt. He'd like to work with him. He trusts Matt. Not so sure you should do that. Matt's shown that he's very willing to go right back to Cirie and give her all kinds of information. Because remember, he is part of that. Well, he's part of Legends 25 and the Seven Deadly Sins Alliance. So Matt's feeling like he's pretty tight with Cirie as well. Does everyone in this house feel like they're tight with Cirie? It sure seems like it. But he's saying, yeah, I trust Matt. All right. So now with Corey and America alone out in the backyard on a hammock, we get a little flirting going on with them. Yeah, we already knew about this couple over here. There are no secrets of any sort now with them. America and Corey get a little closer with each other. Few fun lines. America refers to Corey as her little slop boy. She says something about, I think I could probably make you forget about that slop. So Corey has talked before about really, wanting to just focus on the game, that he's told everyone else how frustrated he is with America. Well, when it's just the two of them alone, America's really turning up the heat, doing a lot of flirting with Corey, and it seems like Corey's pretty comfortable with it. Corey better be comfortable or careful. Showmances can absolutely destroy a game. It can provide you some protection, but it can destroy a game as well. So there you have it. Finally, they're all in bed by, I don't know, 4:30 or so in the morning. It was late, and then they cut away for feeds for a while. So I was waiting forever to see if something came back, some amazing something. Other than that, they're still in bed as I watch, even at this point in time. But not everyone's sleeping single this evening. I did notice that Jared and Blue have decided that if she's on the block, there's a possibility she's going home. They might as well take advantage of it. So they're sharing a bed together this evening. So definite showmance over on this side. This side sure looks like it's leading that way. All right, guys, we're going to shut it down at that. I'm going to take a nap. I really want to see the flip and all that. Who knows? This season, we'll have it flipped 20 times between now and tomorrow's veto ceremony. So whatever. I'll be watching today to find out whether they want to keep Jag or Blue. Do I really care? Yeah, I do, but it's not earth shattering whichever way it goes, I don't think. Jared telling Blue about his relationship, secret relationship with the house. That's what I'm waiting for. Let the fireworks begin. Guys, y'all have a fantastic Sunday. I will be back tomorrow morning to give you a recap, let you know if the secrets have been spilled. It's going to be a fun one. Y'all have a great one, guys. Cheers, my friends. SKD 143. Bye.